Okay, so this is how I modify it to use it on my wood stove. From the top of my stove to my mantle, I don't have 7 inches. So I've got a hook right here on the outside of my mantle, and I've got my fan actually pointing down, which is really good because heat rises. So we're pushing the heat to the ground so that it'll rise in the middle of the room. All right, today we're taking a look at this fan for your wood stove. They sent this to me at no charge for this review. And in this review, I'm not going to be installing it on my wood stove simply because it's still 80 degrees outside and starting a fire in the house would just not be very smart right now. So we're going to do this out in the garage, and I'm going to show you how this operates. Now, first off, we're going to take a look at the size of it, and it stands 7 inches tall. So you want to make sure that you have at least that much clearance on your wood stove. This also has a thermometer right down here at the bottom, and it is color coded. So you're going to have the off position, then you're going to have the operating position, and then it's going to be in an overheat position. Now, there is a feature right here on the bottom. There is a piece of metal that once it reaches 540 degrees for an extended period of time, it'll begin to bow and it will slightly tilt your fan, letting you know that it's way too hot. And before you damage something inside the fan itself, you need to remove it. Now, this is a 6-blade fan, and what it's going to do is simply circulate the heat that is coming off of the top of your wood stove. I use these, I've used these for years. So on my wood stove, and we're going to take a look at this here in just a minute, I do have a blower at the bottom, but it also seems like you got a lot of heat that's coming off the stove itself, and that heat just isn't going anywhere except rising right above the stove. So using a fan like this to circulate the air, to move the air through the room, is going to allow you to save a little bit of finances on the heating costs that you incur throughout the winter time. So what I want to do out here in the garage is just show you how this operates. It'll start somewhere between 140 degrees and 212 degrees. So once this metal plate down here reaches that temperature, it's going to turn the fan on. Then we're going to let it operate between 212 and 464, something like that. And if it goes over that, then you would want to remove it from the stove itself. So we're going to see if we can get this going out here in the garage. So you can see as that metal gets hot, the fan turns on. There's no electricity out here. There's nothing else that is causing this to run except for the heat. You'll see that I've just reached the operating zone there in the orange. And as long as that stays hot, the fan's going to continue to run. And it is a silent fan. Can you hear that? Just barely. And so this is going to run for an extended period of time just from residual heat. Now, if you do not have one of these for your wood stove, you're really missing out. This does a really great job. I know it doesn't look like much for a fan, but it is going to move the air, and it's just going to be a constant movement of the air, pushing it through that room or your house or wherever you have these. And it's going to lower some of your heating and cooling, your heating costs. And it's just going to be really nice to have around. The fan is still running because the metal is still over 212 degrees. So as I said in the garage, these things are super nice. If you don't have one, it's time to get one.